Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for none other than the Day 9 Daily. Per expectation, I'm going to announce the date. Here we go. It's Thursday. It's December 29th, 2011. Only a few days left to make those New Year's resolutions. And this is Day 9 Daily number 392, where we learn to be a better gamer. My shirt is awesome. This is a Christmas present, of course, from one of you delightful, sweet souls who shipped me a shirt to my P.O. box. I wear it delightfully. Let's introduce today's topic. In today's daily, what we're going to do is what I'm going to call rapid reads. An important part of any good old game is trying to figure out what the hell your opponent is doing. So we're going to watch a ton of games. I'm hoping to get to 7 games, but if we don't, that's okay, because it's going to be good. And if we do, then that's great. Hopefully we'll get to like 9. Just picking a number at random here, I hope we get to 9 games. And what we're going to be doing in these games is trying to deduce what the opponent is doing with incredible speed and accuracy. Just going through lots of examples, so that way you can take it to the ladder and crush faces. Is there anything noteworthy to announce? Sunday will mark the start of Terran Week, but since there was no previously announced Fun Day Monday, I think that what we'll end up doing on Sunday is subscriber monobattles, subscriber FFAs, and all things fun involving you fine folks for the new year. Because I know you'll be recovering from your long evening of partying. The best way to recover is with some StarCraft 2 subscriber monobattling. Did you hear those pieces of syllables trying to get out of my throat with such difficulty? Let me fix this. Oh, thank God. There we go. Come on, boy. All right. Let us talk about you. You do what I do. You watch a lot of tournaments and cast a lot of tournaments. I know you do that. Listen, just let me finish. The problem that we discussed yesterday, we're going to discuss once again. You're so used to seeing all this information, right? The production tab, the food counts of both players, you're used to having this little money tab up here, that it's very easy when you hop into game to have absolutely no clue what the hell you're doing. In particular, it's very easy to know the way interactions should work. Oh, he's going Hellions. That guy's going Roaches. The Hellion player's going to have to play defensively. You know these sorts of things. But when you're in game, suddenly you're going Hellions and you have no idea how to figure out when he's going Roaches. This is the art of reading what your opponent is doing, trying to figure out what all the possibilities of what he could be doing is, to narrow it down, and then to be happy. Easy peasy, right? Except not so easy when we're actually in practice. And of course, I'm going to cover up this Skype window. Someone's trying to get a shout out on the show. And only if you behave will you get one. So what we're going to do is we're going to hop into a whole bunch of good old games here. And there are 3 things that I want us to do. What are the 3 possibilities we can do at any given point in time? We can attack, tech, or expand. And I want you to always play this game with yourself. Should he attack, tech, or expand? We don't just want to try to identify what he's doing. We want to try to identify what he's doing and then have an action item. Play the contest of attack, expand, or tech. It's important I remember all 3. All right, we're going to come in here. Let's go ahead and blast through this at rapid fire speed. We have White-rA. We're going to be doing all these games from the Protoss player's point of view. Alright, so we have our good friend White-rA. You'll notice my sound is enabled. Yeah, very nice loud pylon. Alright, so we're starting out on Tal'Darim Altar. Let's blast through a whole bunch of examples. We are scouting into our opponent's base. We are seeing things. Oh, it looks like we're trying to kill off this little barracks guy. That would be wonderful. Now, number 1 most important rule when you're doing the art of reading, we're going to wait for White-rA to do the full circuit through. Oh, where are you going to go, White-rA? Where are you going to go? He sees that there's no gas here, and he very soon should see that there's no gas guys are there. Come on, White-rA. Come on. Come on, here he goes. Boom! Alright, cool. He sees that there are currently 2 geysers. I gotta kill a production tab. Whoopsie daisies. Hell, I'll kill this too. You know what? You don't deserve any of this information. Alright, excellent. So, when White-rA ends up swinging around and finding out no gas. Number 1 most important rule of figuring out what your opponent is doing. You are never trying to figure out what he's doing. You're trying to figure out what he can't be doing. You will never, I should say, you will very, very rarely ever know exactly what he is doing. If you see no gas in his base, he can't be going Banshee. Thank God he's not going 1-1-1. He really can't do any sort of 2 racks Marauder pressure because he doesn't have any gas, right? What can he be doing? Early expanding. He can also be going for a bunch of hidden barracks to kill you. Ha! We have cut things out rather than tried to say, no gas, I guess he's early expanding. You want to be very, 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 very careful about over-identifying. You don't want to over-identify. And of course, we're going to be doing this throughout the rapid reads, just trying to cross stuff off, crossing this off. All right, we see him having absolutely no gas. Should we attack, tech, or expand? Attack, probably not. If he's early expanding, he'll be building a bunker. If he is going for a 3 racks, he is probably going to have a whole lot of units attacking, or I should say going for an all-out attack. Doesn't actually seem all that... Going for an all-out attack doesn't actually seem all that reasonable if those are the only 2 options. So we're going to see White-rA expand. Now, if you see him early expanding, it's quite reasonable to go for some sort of tech play. Why? You have plenty of time. Plenty of time. Plenty of time to do that. Dark Templar Rush is very effective thing to do against someone who's early expanding. You can easily have the opportunity to control the map with relative ease. But you suddenly have to be careful because, ooh, if you Dark Templar Rush and he's going for some sort of crazy all-in tactic, then you are going to be in big trouble, mister.
You must construct additional
Biggest trouble ever. Alright, cool. So, White-rA is building a gateway. And he's building... Come on, Alexei, come on, you beautiful, sexy Ukrainian man. You can do it, you can do it, you can do it. He's building a gateway. Notice all the subtle things that we're seeing White-rA do. He's getting these gateways before he's getting a robo. Why? Because the opponent could still very well be going for a huge amount of barracks. So we should throw down these gateways, because we don't quite know yet. He has a chrono boost going down on his warp gate research. He gets a zealot out at the start. All these are helping account for some of these remaining possibilities. Early expand or huge crazy aggressions coming up seem to be opposing, but as long as we expand and build a whole bunch of units, we're killing both. Good. Rapid reads. Rapid reads. Now, there's one thing that I did kind of cheat on. White-rA totally saw the expansion. Look at me. I'm hiding information from you because I'm awesome. All right. Let's go ahead and speed this game up. Let's speed it up. Right now we have a Stalker moving out. We have control of the Watchtower. We have plenty of time. Watch White-rA's production here for a moment. I'm going to select these gateways, and you're going to see that nothing's building out of them. Nothing's building out of them. White-rA, as a matter of fact, still not building out of them. Everything seems to be pretty reasonable, right? He's just getting some gas gathers up. He's building probes. Look, still nothing being built out of them. He has seen his opponent early expanding. He sees his opponent is being passive. This is good information. This bit of information, this huge spread where there's nothing, very, very useful. Lets us know that there's really not that much attacking going on. Alright, here we go. The 3 warp gates. Finishing up. White-rA is going to warp in 2 guys. Look at that middle gateway. You see that? Nothing being built. But this is all very reasonable play because White-rA's seen his opponent early expand. We know that there's really no chance of any big threats coming up early except for a lot of Marines. Notice that our read on our opponent is based largely off just the fact that he's expanded. He could be going for drop. He could be going for a whole lot of Marines. He could be going for big Marauder pushes. We don't know exactly what he's doing. We know it could be kind of one of those things. We know he can't really be doing drops too fast because he expanded. We know he can't be doing a big Banshee play because he expanded, etc., etc., etc. Still, as I have these 3 gateways selected, we see, look at this. In this time where he knew that there would be no attack coming, he goes for Twilight Council, he goes for Dark Shrine, he gets a sentry up early. These are all just precautionary things, but notice how little information he actually has. All he knows is some timing. This is a pretty simple game thus far. We had plenty of time, so we decided to tech. We also have time, so we're going to expand. And what, of course, if we get some Dark Templar up, we buy ourselves even more time. He cannot physically possibly get a huge army and have a whole bunch of scan to attack us with. So with that extra time, do we attack, tech, or expand? Well, expanding's probably the best choice of all. Easy peasy. He's just going to walk on in, and the rest of this game is not particularly educational. It's just White-rA getting quite fortunate with this whole drop play. But again, we are seeing a lot of damage go down in the main base. Now here's an important question. What do you do now? Come on, son, what do you do? Do you attack? Do you tech? Or do you expand? Based upon what you're seeing in the base. I'll even re-show exactly what's in the main here. We have these 3 barracks, we have a factory. That's what we've seen. In particular, we actually don't see a factory next to a starport. So what do we do? What do we do? What seems like the most reasonable thing? We've messed up his economy. We have killed all sorts of stuff. He has a pretty sizable force of Marine Marauder. I mean, a lot of people are saying, oh, choice is obvious, but look at all this stuff. What do we end up doing? There's one option that I neglected to mention until now. And that is shit your pants and defend. Alright? What is a classic example of a strategy where pretty much the only option is shitting your pants and defending? The 1-1-1, very good. I see it getting typed in there. Rage quit is another excellent option. But you always have to be thinking in terms of attacking, teching, or expanding. And as a last-ditch effort, this whole emergency, oh my god, defend. Now, why did I wait until now to present that to you? Because that is the biggest mistake that all players will end up making in terms of what to do with their buildings. A lot of times people will be panicking about possibilities and over-focus on defending. He could be attacking me with Dark Templar. I better build a turret early. And they build a turret at the 5-minute mark, when it is physically impossible for a Dark Templar to exist at that point in time. So, I always want you to just say, should I attack, expand, or tech? And is there actually any chance, now that I've considered all those, that I would need to just suddenly drop everything and defend? No. Definitely not. A lot of people are saying the correct thing in chat because this is the easy example. Boom! Going for the Nexus. Fantastic. Why are we going for the Nexus? We don't see any sort of drop. He's having to spend scans here. All we have to do is warp in a few extra DTs, and we can have all the time in the world to build extra buildings. And by the way, building extra gateways, I lump this under tech. I lump it under that. Getting gateways and forges, because building lots of gateways is kind of the opposite of building units. So good old Alexei will end up fairly straightforwardly conquering this. He's going to continue to try to poke in here with some dropping. So here comes the huge attack, and what is it time to do, ladies and gentlemen? It's time to freak out, defend, defend, defend. Oh my god, here comes the big attack. We are not doing any teching. We are no longer going to be expanding. We are trying to do our best to get up some sort of defense. This is a defensive maneuver. Do not confuse this with an attack. This is important to kill off. Now, I'm going to ask you a question as we start to kill this off. As this thing slowly dwindles in size, I want to ask you one question real fast. What does the opponent have in terms of an army? And what does he have in terms of buildings? This is a surprisingly rarely asked question that we do a lot. Or that surprisingly rarely asked question that you should be doing a lot. When we come back here, how many does he actually have? Well, in the unit counting station, wow, that's actually all his Marauders. He has 11 Marines, and there's most of them. Yeah, that's actually his whole army. In terms of buildings, he actually has just these 3 barracks. Having a sense of your opponent's building count is probably the most important thing to keep track of, because it's very easy at a point like this to panic and to go, oh my god, I lost a huge amount of stuff. When in reality, you have way better ability to produce stuff. Holy gateways, Batman, look at that. And I will briefly sum up the end of this by saying White-rA walks right in and crushes Braddock a little bit faster. Or very, very soon. So what we're going to do now is it's time to watch replays of my favorite Protoss player right now. Who is it? Who is it? LiquidHero. That's right. And it's time to give a shout out to that man who wanted a shout out. Hi, Naniwa. That's okay. I actually watch Naniwa's stream probably more than anyone's. And you should watch his stream too. Twitch.tv/QuanticNani. Bam. Let me go ahead and open up this game. Where is it? Yes, another game against a Terran player. Haha, let's, yes, excellent. Here is an absolutely insane game. One of the reasons I chose LiquidHero for all the rapid reads that we're going to be following up with is the fact that Hero plays insane games. Ooh, that makes reading a little bit more difficult. No, do not over-panic. Remember, expand, attack, or tech. Expand, attack, or tech. Ba-da-da-dum-bum-bum-ba-da-da-dum. Alright. Guys, we're starting off on a good old map known as Antigua Shipyard. Down here is Maka Prime. You can't see him unless you had that memory and saw him there. Alright, cool. We're starting off everything normally. We're going to try to get a good sense of what our opponent is doing. And you're hearing the excitability and speed with which I speak because, we're in rapid reads mode. Alright, cool. We're getting a second assimilator. Why? Because OGS Hero did not take any Beano this morning because he has lots of gas. Excellent. I'm not going to overthink it much more than that. Alright, we poked in. We got a little bit of information. We see a couple of Marines there. That helps us at the very least know that there's not a lot of Marauders coming right down the pipeline. Now notice how already useful that was. Had a couple Marines shoot us, we know that he can't possibly be coming at us with Marauders. We're crossing stuff out. So, since he's not coming at us with Marauders to kill us right now, he's either teching or expanding, so hell, that means we have time. What do? We are going to tech. We're getting a Twilight Council. Plenty of time. Ooh, we're building gateways. Why is that? Well, it looks like we want to go blink. It's time to stop overthinking. We can just blink. Like, this is, in a lot of circumstances, just a decision where you're saying, I like blink plays, I've done research, it seems good, so I'll just go ahead and do that. But we're going to cancel if for some reason we see some sort of crazy marauderage coming. So, just wanted to do that little bit of clarification. A lot of times people will freak out and super overanalyze what the blink means, but the important thing is that we want to go blink. Can we get it? Right now, F yeah. Now, we've already gotten a good bit of information. Look at this. We see a lot of Marines coming out. Now, we have not poked into his main. Tell me things he can't be doing. No Banshee. Excuse me. He can absolutely be going Banshee, right? He can absolutely be going 1-1-1. He could absolutely be expanding. He could absolutely be going for a huge amount of tech. Or, damn it, I'm going to start it all over because I keep using the same set of words. Crap. He could be expanding, cheesing with a whole bunch of Marines. He could be going 1-1-1, fast Banshee. Hell, he could be going Mass Hellion, right? He could be going Thor Rush. Oh, yeah, don't you hate getting Thor Rush? He could be doing any number of those. The only thing he can't be doing is getting some Reapers and getting some Marauders, which is still more than enough for us to happily only have one Stalker right now. Look at that. That's actually kind of remarkable, the fact that we are able to get away with one unit, one freaking unit, just due to the fact that we can identify that he's not doing some sort of crazy Marauder play. And then all of a sudden, oh my god, he's coming in with a whole bunch of Marines. Where did those come from? I'll tell you a little secret. They came from here. So, alright, cool. What was that last thing that we ended up doing? Well, we ended up shitting our pants, right? That is the one big thing. Cool. It's time to go into crazy defense mode. And this is where Hero plays, as you might imagine, like a hero. There's the sentry popping up, ends up blocking it off. And this is where games get kooky and crazy. Up at the Ultra Grandmaster level, players have super refined timings. This is a situation that you might encounter in any league from Bronze to Grandmaster. In any league, you might encounter a situation like this. Now, OGS Hero is going to be able to defend this, or excuse me, LiquidHero is going to be able to defend this, because Blink Stalker is just incredibly, unbelievably good against Marines. And now it's time to start doing some more reading of our opponent. Now, go through your replays and do rapid-fire iterations of this sort of analysis. Because right now, our opponent is throwing a whole bunch of stuff at us. He really shouldn't be having that much gas. He's still sending Marines, so you know what? He probably can't be going Banshee. Probably cannot be getting any sort of tech in the slightest. I'm suddenly not as concerned about getting a robotics facility early. I don't need to, because there's absolutely no sense of any sort of Banshee coming in. I don't really need to scout him with an observer either, because he's basically committed to going some sort of expand at this point, or some sort of awfully slow tech. Remember, It's not that he is going to expand. It's that he can expand or do really terrible tech plays. That's how we account for them.
Under attack.
And of course, we're still getting some warp-ins. OGS here is going to be doing the intuitive thing. So he pops in here. Now, why was it reasonable, at the very least, to make some sort of attack attempt? Because we have Blink, right? Attack, tech, or expand. Now we have a clear sense of what he's doing. What should we be doing ourselves? Well, we should probably not be blinking onto the inescapable platform of death. But expanding, obvious choice. Probably not building that many units. Probably not attacking anymore, because our opponent is holed up defensively. I would expand. I might even expand twice. I'm definitely going to begin teching as well. Yeah, I want to get... Ooh, I like this choice. Getting Dark Shrine. Tech. Easy thing. Easy thing to do. Now, notice that tech and expand, both great options. Attacking, not so great right now. There are numbers of ways that you can answer the question of, what do I do now with my tech? Oh, hell, Dark Shrine seems like a good tech. Forge. I could build more gateways. I have plenty of time to do that, although I don't really like that play. I could go for Colossus. I have plenty of time to do that. I could go... if I want to do the expand route, do I expand to another main? Do I expand to my own natural? Do I expand twice? Again, there's granularity to it. But never forget that it really is as simple as attack, expand, tech. Don't complicate it more. Just play everyone's favorite game show of those ones. Because I want to speed this up a little bit, what we're going to do is we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to blast through the rest of this game, and then we're going to go through 4 of LiquidHero's game in 20 minutes. Really, 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 really fast, just to show how easy it is to start reading our opponent and getting better conclusions of where to head down. Yahoo, Wahoo, etc. See you in 2 minutes.